Tria Middle School lunch, hamburger with french fries and baked beans. High school, hamburger, corn dogs, beef or chicken tacos with tortilla chips or wrap, plus the sub line every day.
Have some more chicken, have some more pie.
That's your lunch menu, brought to you by First Franklin Financial.
Do you want money-saving grocery specials? Sure you do, and you got them at your hometown supermarket, your Jesup Piggly Wiggly. Fresh chicken drumsticks, only 45 cents a pound. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.35 a pound. Cube beefsteaks, $2.95 a pound. Assorted pork chops, $1.55 a pound. Other money-saving buys at Piggly Wiggly include Campbell's Chunky Soup, 3 large cans for $5. Pet ice cream, get 2 big containers for $6. Navel oranges, 79 cents each. And strawberries, blueberries, or blackberries, get 2 1-pound containers for only $5. Save the pig on chicken leg quarters, $5.80 for the 10-pound bag, and pork spare ribs, $1.88 a pound. And for meals on the go, visit Piggly Wiggly's Deli Bakery. Meats, veggies, desserts, and more, all cooked, packaged, ready to take home for you to enjoy. You save the most when you shop at your hometown supermarket. Your Jesup Piggly Wiggly, 440 West Cherry Street, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
Seasons change. Quality of service doesn't. For 75 years, First Franklin Financial has been serving the financial needs of your friends and neighbors. You can always depend on the caring staff to be there when you need them. Drop by and see your friendly Franklin folks at 1074 North Macon Street, or give them a call at 427-4237, or apply online at 1ffc.com. All loans are subject to our liberal credit policy and limitations, if any. First Franklin Financial Corporation, NMLSR number 141654. Georgia Residential Mortgage License number 5656.
Hello, Sybil's Family Restaurant.
Hi, is Ralph there?
Ralph, no one named Ralph works here. This is Sybil's Family Restaurant. You sure you've got the right number?
I don't know. I'm looking for Ralph. Is he there?
Well, let me see if I can find him for you. What does Ralph look like?
Well, he's got white hair and spots.
White hair and spots?
Uh-huh.
Is Ralph your dog?
He's a Dalmatian.
But this is Sybil's Family Restaurant. Why would your dog be here?
You always say you have something for everyone.
And we do. The best fried chicken around. Plus, you can enjoy our daily lunch buffet, nightly dinner buffet, Friday seafood buffet, and Sunday buffet, too. Or order anytime from our extensive menu. You'll want to be sure you always leave room for our homemade desserts, too. But maybe you should look out in your backyard for Ralph.
That's okay. I'll just call his cell phone.
We've got something for everyone at Sybil's Family Restaurant, close to the intersection of 341 and Highway 84 in Jesup.
Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Visit Walker Jones in Waycross this new year to have the best car buying experience ever. Let us give you exactly what you want. The largest selection of new and pre-owned vehicles from all the best brands. The highest trade-in value for your vehicle. And the absolute lowest price in South Georgia on over 500 new cars, trucks, and SUVs guaranteed. Plus, get Walker Jones limited lifetime powertrain warranty on every new and select pre-owned vehicle we sell. Stop by Walker Jones in Waycross today or shop online at walkerjones.com.
Local news on WIFO.
It's time now for a look at the latest in local news. In the news this past Friday at AT College, the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce held its annual Eggs and Issues breakfast. Tremendous crowd on hand, along with our representatives now headed to Atlanta for the legislative session, which gets underway today in Atlanta. All this week, we'll talk with State Representatives Chad Nimmer and Bill Werkheiser, and newly elected State Senator Blake Tillery. Also talk with longtime State Senator Tommy Williams, who was recognized and thanked and given a few gifts from the county for his 20-plus years of service for the area in Atlanta. Today we begin our interviews with State Representative Bill Werkheiser, who talks about some of the issues upcoming in this session.
Representative Bill Werkheiser, and again, the legislative session starts January 9th, and just want to get your thoughts on the upcoming issues. That was kind of addressed the eggs and issues, budget, education, healthcare, any other things that we need to know about.
No, you just stole my answer. That is going to be the big thing after the budget. Is going to be education. Governor Deal's made it very clear that he wants to see some significant changes. We may actually even look at the funding mechanism instead of QBE, and so that's going to be a big issue. I think we're going to look at adding a few diseases to medical cannabis. I hope we do. We've seen a lot of success with that already, even though we hadn't had it very long. The fight that we always have about Medicaid expansion will still exist. I think with a Republican majority that we won't expand it, but it doesn't mean we won't have that battle.
I talked to Chad Nimmer. The governor's big push for education didn't pass. The voters said, nope, not in favor of that. Did he get the message? The whole thing was very frustrating. I think both sides want the same thing. I mean, we know we've got that education is the most important issue. I mean, it's an economic development issue. It's an everything issue. So if that's not the answer, we can't just say, okay, that didn't work, let's just go back. Because with that many failing schools, we've got to do something. Doing nothing is not the answer. And for one, I appreciated. I like the legislation. I thought I've seen it work in other states. There were some states that didn't have success, but at least it was a movement of trying to do something. We have got to do something. Money's always an issue. Talking to Chad Nimmer, he's not for casino gambling. I saw that issue's going to come up again, and like I told him, the argument goes, in the old days, people in the state of Georgia would go across state lines to buy a lottery ticket, and they said, well, we can't let that money go to other states. We got to bring it to Georgia. Same argument's being thrown about casino gambling. All these people going to Biloxi, Florida. Is there any chance that comes to fruition, or is there too much against it?
I think with the leadership as it is now, meaning the governor, the speaker, and the lieutenant governor, all three of them have been very vocal that they're against it. When you've got all three of them, and again, it's almost like Medicaid. It doesn't mean we won't argue about it, but no, I do not see that happening during our session. I think for one, this past week we just had the audit on the lottery come out, and it was not good, and we're not doing a good job. That agency has done a poor job of handling that money, and so we've got to fix what we've already have before we expand that.
Local governments say the state takes most of the money, and they're behind the eight ball. Classic example, the other night at the county commission meeting, we talked about tags. Used to be a high price for a tag. Now most people pay $20 if they have a new vehicle, but 19 of that $20 goes to the state of Georgia. Only $1 stays in the county. Any way they can help out local counties like Wayne and Pierce and Appling?
Well, I think the answer to that is, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think all that money's staying with the state, because obviously a lot of money gets passed down. I think the argument becomes how much of that. So, in fact, that's similar to the education argument that's being made. In fact, Buddy Carter mentioned that recently at an event here. Is that what we really need to do if we're collecting at the federal level? We need to block grant down to the state level. Same way the state, because we always talk about local control is the way we need to handle it. So if we're going to do that, then we need to pass the money along back so that because you can't control if you don't have the funds.
I know a lot of questions weren't able to be asked at the forum, but I know the COASH committee was here, the No COASH committee. I know you've heard from those people. Anything the state level can do to help with that regards?
I don't know. It goes back to the same thing. It's not because we haven't been trying. I mean, I feel like that's almost like the red light issue. I can't tell you how many times myself, Chad Nimmer, and Tommy Williams sat in a room, and we just kept meeting with different agencies. We met with EPD, would meet with other folks, saying what can we do. Our hands are really tied. And speaking of local control, I mean, that's one of those things that's got to be fixed at the local level. As a state, we cannot just blanket make a rule and say you can't do that, because we're producing it in state. Some of those people, they look at legislation in North Carolina, but the problem there is they're not producing it like we are here in Georgia. We can't, Georgia Power is a major player here, and so we can't say we're not going to accept it. And because of federal laws, we can't say, well, we're only going to take Georgia coal produced. And Georgia Power is making an effort to shut down their coal plants. The question of that is what we're going to do with the coal ash ponds. That's being looked at. Had a very long conversation last week with an environmental group in Atlanta. We are looking at some ideas. I don't know if legislatively is the answer answer. I think the way there is changing, is going through the agency and changing the rulemaking regarding how we handle coal ash. But we are working on it. It's an issue that we literally work on every week. I mean, I know people don't hear us talk about it every week, but we're working on it.
Okay, you're always accessible. I know you've given your phone number out and told people to get in touch with you a little bit. We appreciate you being here today.
Well, I appreciate everything the radio does. And for those of you who have hard spots or listening or traveling, I use the app on my phone every morning. It's on my front page screen, and that's part of my morning routine. At 8 o'clock, I listen to y'all 90% of the time.
We appreciate you listening.
All right, thank you.
Again, those comments of Bill Werkheiser. On Tuesday, we'll hear from State Representative Chad Nimmer. On Wednesday, State Senator Blake Tillery. On Thursday, former State Senator Tommy Williams. And that's all this week here on the local news. Again, the annual Eggs and Issues held this past Friday at AT College. We'll be back with more news after this word from our sponsor and other commercial messages, so please stay tuned.
Attention pet lovers, the Trade Mart out on 301, directly across from the drive-in, carries an entire line of animal and pet feed, dog food, horse feed, chicken feed, rabbit feed, hog feed, cattle feed, goat feed, and the list goes on. We also have an animal health items as well. Dog wormer, flea pills, horse wormer, ivermectin, red cell, muscle up, and rooster booster pellets. So if you have a farm or just an adorable pet lover, come see us, the Trade Mart, the best kept secret in town.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties for over 13 years. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the only nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our new administrative offices, located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, have opened recently as Phase 1 of our building project. Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak to someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
Hurricane's convenience store and cafe is now open 7 days a week, located at 105 Henson Mosley Road, and features a convenient drive-through window. Hurricane's is locally owned and operated by Ron Twilly and his family, and is ready to serve the Wayne and surrounding counties with breakfast, lunch, and dinner with great meals at great prices. Hurricane's is your one-stop shop convenience store with gasoline and a restaurant inside, providing biscuits in the morning, hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken wings in the afternoon. Hurricane has arrived. Is now open 7 days a week for your convenience. Once again, stop by anytime for a family good time. Wayne County Superior Court in session today, 14-page criminal calendar call as juries will be selected on the 23rd of this month, as there are still several murder trials on the docket, including the case of the state of Georgia versus Troy Simmons, which has been postponed several times, but it's set to head to trial the week of January 23rd. Simmons charged with felony murder, violation of the Georgia State Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. Also on the 14-page calendar is the case of the state of Georgia versus Jesse Irwin Strickland, also wanted for malice and felony murder. A third murder case on the calendar as well. Case of state of Georgia versus Robert Rogers. Again, once again, the calendar call today, 14 pages long. And again, Superior Court Judge Roger Lane will be on the bench today. Jury is selected on the 23rd of this month. Trial set for that week. Again, WIFO film will continue to follow the criminal court at the Wayne County Courthouse. Wayne County Sheriff John Carter states that the Jesup Wayne County Criminal Task Force have secured warrants for Walter Pettyjohn, suspect one in connections with burglary, armed robbery, and several other criminal charges. Pettyjohn's a black male between 5'9" and 6 feet tall. They said he's known to be in the Savannah area where he has family. Mr. Pettyjohn's also wanted for parole violations, armed robbery charges from the robbery at the Citgo gas station that occurred on New Year's Eve night here in Jesup. And if anyone knows of his whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Criminal Task Force at 427-5970. Wayne County Board of Education set to meet tomorrow afternoon at 6 p.m. for a work session. On the agenda under Student Services, presentation of Georgia Southern Homegrown Initiative. Also information on Community Development Block Grant, discussion on lights on after school, approval of class size reduction waiver. Under Financial Management, approval of the November financial statement, discussion of Martha Ross Smith Elementary Site and insurance, information on hiring timeline, school board policies on the agenda, also the executive session. All that's set for tomorrow afternoon at 6 p.m. at the Tech Center. We'll be back with some final news notes after this word from our sponsor and other commercial messages, so please stay tuned.
Attention pet lovers, the Trade Mart out on 301, directly across from the drive-in, carries an entire line of animal and pet feed, dog food, horse feed, chicken feed, rabbit feed, hog feed, cattle feed, goat feed, and the list goes on. We also have an animal health items as well. Dog wormer, flea pills, horse wormer, ivermectin, red cell, muscle up, and rooster booster pellets. So if you have a farm or just an adorable pet lover, come see us, the Trade Mart, the best kept secret in town.
This is Charles Huffman at Jesup Housing Outlet. If you haven't been to Jesup Housing Outlet lately, you're missing out on a large selection of floor plans. Nation's top manufacturers, Clayton, Fleetwood, Scott Built, and Homes of Merit. All of our homes feature modern kitchens and appliances, R60 and higher insulation values, thermopane windows, and energy-efficient heat pumps. We have 2 locations to serve you, 2452 Savannah Highway in Jesup and Highway 301 South between I-16 and the bypass in Statesboro. Come see Charles, Faye, or Sheridan today.
Do you want money-saving grocery specials? Sure you do, and you got them at your hometown supermarket, your Jesup Piggly Wiggly. Fresh chicken drumsticks, only 45 cents a pound. Boneless, skinless chicken breast, $1.35 a pound. Cube beefsteaks, $2.95 a pound. Assorted pork chops, $1.55 a pound. Other money-saving buys at Piggly Wiggly include Campbell's Chunky Soup, 3 large cans for $5. Pet ice cream, get 2 big containers for $6. Navel oranges, 79 cents each, and strawberries, blueberries, or blackberries, get 2 1-pound containers for only $5. Save the pig on chicken leg quarters, $5.80 for the 10-pound bag, and pork spare ribs, $1.88 a pound. And for meals on the go, visit Piggly Wiggly's Deli Bakery. Meats, veggies, desserts, and more, all cooked, packaged, ready to take home for you to enjoy. You save the most when you shop at your hometown supermarket. Your Jesup Piggly Wiggly, 440 West Cherry Street, open from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week.
Final notes news. Here's a rundown of some of the winners at Saturday's Miss Wayne County and Miss Coastal Empire contest held at the KK Theater. Miss Wayne County is Faith Boyette. Miss Coastal Empire is Stephanie Gargalo. Miss Harvard South, the winner is Mallory Todd. Miss Coastal Empire preteen is Jocelyn Westbury. Wee winner is Carson Keith, and Tiny winner is Madeline Wireman. The next blood drive, first blood drive of the year, set for Wayne Memorial Hospital Friday, January 27th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Red Cross says the blood supply is extremely low in this area, and again, they encourage everyone to please give the gift of life a pint of blood. Appointments can be made by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or visiting their website, redcrossblood.org, and entering Wayne Memorial Hospital when prompted. Walk-ins are welcome. Those donating will be given a chance to win a $25 gift card as a show of appreciation, as just 1 pint of blood can save up to 3 lives. Again, the first blood drive set for Friday, January 27th at 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Wayne Memorial Hospital, again, adjacent to the exterior entrance to Cafe at Wayne Memorial Hospital. That's going to do it for latest in local news. Sports comes your way in a few minutes. Bob Morganson, have a great day.
You've been listening to local news on WIFO.